Churchill, L. Ron Hubbard are on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is January 24th, 2024. It is the 24th day of the year. There are 342 days left. It is your fourth Wednesday in your fourth week and the 35th day of winter. You got 55 days left until spring. Today is National Farmhouse Breakfast Week. Farmhouse Breakfast Week is an annual event to celebrate the day's most important meal. This week-long occasion highlights the many reasons why we should with a nutritious and filling breakfast. It's one of the first things I do if I am trying to lose weight. I cut out breakfast. I know there's some people that say it's a bad idea. I know some people say fasting's a great idea. I enjoy breakfast, but if I'm trying to lose weight, I just do coffee till about noon. I'm sure it's not good for my heart. You don't have to tell me. All right, let's see what else January 24th has given us. 1933, the 20th Amendment to the United States Constitution is ratified, changing the beginning and end term for all elected federal officials. 1946, the United Nations General Assembly passes the first resolution to establish the United Nations Atomic Energy Commission. 1972, Japanese Sergeant Shoshi Yokio, I don't even know how to pronounce this dude's name. He was found hiding in the Guam jungle, where he had been since the end of World War II. Now, this was our deep dive last year, and this is a very interesting story. He wasn't the only one. There were several people on different islands from the Japanese military that their last order was to fight till the last man. Some of these islands throughout the Pacific knew that these men were up there. There's a handful. I wouldn't say there's like 100. There's probably like 15 total that stayed after, let's say, the 1950s. And over time, they would be captured or they turned themselves in. And I'm sure a lot of them died like out in the jungle or something like that. He was one of the last ones, and he stayed there till 1972. The devotion to duty is incredible with the Japanese soldiers. I mean, all the way back to the samurai days. Their last order was to fight until they got another order. They never got another order. I mean, even in the U.S. Army, we have this thing called general orders. And your first general order is, I will guard everything within the limits of my post and quit my post only when properly relieved. These guys took it to a whole new level. As far as I'd go, I mean, I'll give you a week, then I'm walking away from my post. 1978, a Soviet satellite with a nuclear reactor on board burns up in the Earth's atmosphere, scattering radioactive debris over Canada's Northwest Territory. Only 1% will be recovered. 2003, the United States Department of Homeland Security officially begins operation. So the Department of Homeland Security came about after the 9/11 attacks. We figured we needed another department to basically level up local and federal law enforcement. Their mission statement reads this: the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, and its Homeland Security mission are born from the commitment and resolve of Americans across the United States in the wake of September 11th. Those darkest hours, we witnessed true heroism, self-sacrifice, and unified resolve against evil. We rallied together for our common defense, and we pledged to stand united against the threats attacking our great nation, fellow Americans, and our way of life. As the complex threat environment continues to evolve and loom, the department will embody the relentless resilience of the American people to ensure safe, secure, and a prosperous homeland. They have their hands in everything that, is defending the United States: counterterrorism, border patrols, cybersecurity, economic security. A lot of different agencies were rolled into the Department of Homeland Security, like the Coast Guard, the Border Patrol, FEMA, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, the INS. I'm glad the Coast Guard moved in with DHS. Gives them, I don't want to talk bad about them, but it just seemed weird to most soldiers and Navy guys and airmen that we had an agency or a part of the military, because they really are, that was getting their checks from the Department of Transportation. Yeah, prior to joining DHS, Coast Guard was paid by the Department of Transportation. Seems weird. Movies released. On January 24th, 2003, Chicago. This was a musical, and it was based on the stage musical of the same name. The film centers around Roxy Hart and Velma Kelly, two murder suspects in jail together in 1920 Chicago. The film explores the theme of celebrity, scandal, and corruption during the Jazz Age. The film won 6 Academy Awards in 2003, including Best Picture. It was the first musical to win the Best Picture since Oliver in 1968. I'm not a musical guy at all. Like I said, it's not my thing. I enjoyed this movie. The last one I really enjoyed was from like the early 70s, was Phantom of the Paradise. Great movie. Born on January 24th, 1941, Niel Dimond, one of the most successful adult contemporary artists in the history of the Billboard chart. He has sold over 125 million records and is known for hits like Kentucky Woman, Sweet Caroline, and America. I feel like I've told this story before on this channel. If you ever want to see something that makes you feel better about the world, type in Sweet Caroline and then just watch some of these football stadiums, college football stadiums, where the whole place just starts singing it. It's incredible. During the pandemic, I saw it, this was the first time I saw something like this, and it got a little emotional because we were so out of touch with each other during it. We were all locked down, and I saw all these, college kids just singing this song together, and it was really nice. But it's a very interesting thing. Type in Sweet Caroline in Pitt. They do it a lot in Pitt, the University of Pittsburgh. Niel Dimond won an NCAA national championship as part of the New York University fencing team. During his final year, he was offered a gig writing music for a publishing company. He became a member of the Songwriters Hall of Fame in 1984, and in 2011, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He and Barbra Streisand were classmates in high school. Died on January 24th, Winston Churchill and L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard died in 1986. Winston Churchill died in 1965. He was the British Prime Minister during World War II who encouraged bravery and endurance. He became the first honorary citizen of the United States and later the first British Prime Minister to win a Nobel Prize in Literature. He was also a major conspiracy theorist. And towards the end, he was getting a little crazy. I read a whole book on conspiracies, and yeah, they kept bringing him up. L. Ron Hubbard was a science fiction author who founded the Church of Scientology. He published his successful novel, Battlefield Earth, in 1982. He was also known for his self-help book, Dianetics, The Modern Science of Mental Health, which became the central text of his religion of Scientology. He dropped out of Georgetown University in 1932 and began publishing numerous science fiction stories in Pulp Fiction magazine. He also became a lieutenant in the U.S. Naval Reserve during World War II. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great day, and be nice to each other.